real live text transcript of a girl that I was texting, and she was texting me back, and we were keeping up with our conversation, but the thing is, she was taking a long time to respond. So sometimes she would take like 6 hours or 7 hours or 4 hours to respond. She would always respond, but she would, just take a really, really long time. So I'm going to show you how I break that pattern. I'm going to show you my approach to it and how I get her, responding much faster in that situation. So first I start out with, I took a picture of us together. I'm hiding out the face right now because I don't want to, show who she is. She was borrowing my sweater when we were hanging out, and I sent a picture of it the next day, and I said, this one looks like it could be the cover of a Christmas card. Very funny, a little bit of a, light future projection there, showing like, oh, we're like a couple, and we would be sending it out to our friends, that sort of thing, just like a joke. And so she responds back. She goes, it does, and we kind of look alike. Am I right? Now, I respond back. Now, she said that, and that's like, to me, that was like, she was saying that as a first reaction, but it also kind of gives me like a feeling that she is trying to show that she like, that, we look alike, like, oh, we're like brother and sister, which is really weird. Like, why would somebody say that, And the reason they would say that is part of it is a test. And so I throw this back at her, I tease her back, and I go, except I look like I speak Spanish, which I do. And then I said, and you look like you have a Jersey accent, because she's from Jersey, and I made fun of her Jersey accent a couple times. She goes, accurate description. So I said, we should start a rock band, although that would break the no duets rule. And now here starts the long waits. I think I texted that originally around 11. This was like 4 hours or so. So then she goes, accurate description. I said, we should start a rock band, although they would break the no duets rule. And then I said, she says, exactly, and you already broke enough of them. So now I'm waiting. I don't respond back right away. I'm not showing that I'm like going to respond back to her right then and there. I'm going to play this waiting game as well. I goes, ha, 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 ha. Yeah, I broke everyone on that list. Basically, someone should put me in timeout. I said, take a wild guess of where I am right now. So she goes, an open mic night. This is the same girl from before. The girl that was, saying, oh, I made a pact to myself to not date anybody. If you checked her out of my, I had the transcript out, my other videos, the same girl. And she said, like, I said we already broke the rules, and she said open mic night. So there's a lot of like rapport there, but it's taking a long time. So I waited a little while. I sent her a video, 12:03 a.m. I said guess again. She goes, oh, I have no idea. And I cut this out, and I wrote like where I was, which I blocked out. And I said, side hustle, you actually gave me a good idea just now, thinking outside the box. Are you ready to know what it is? This is a line that I use all the time, guys. Like, this is something I say, like, whenever I'm asking a girl out, not always, but I use it a lot. Like, whenever I go out, like, I'll make a reference to something that we're talking about, like, and I'll be like, oh, there's only one thing cooler than performing music live on stage, like if that's something that we're talking about, or I'll relate it exactly to something that's in the moment. There's only one thing cooler than living in Venice Beach, California. And I'll always go, are you ready to know what it is? And I go, I'll put a question mark, but sometimes I'll put a ... And so they will always, always, always respond to that. So ready. Okay, tell me what it is. And that is when I'll fire off. Usually go in for an invite for a date. She goes, so ready, side hustle, LOL, what were you doing there? Now, these texts are coming within hours of each other. They're not coming like before they were fast. They're just taking a long time. She goes, so ready, side hustle, LOL, what were you doing there? And so I go, long story, I'll tell you about it more in person, keeping the intrigue going. I said, Wednesday, let's hit up the open mic and I named the place. I'm going to sing a couple songs and you can sing some too. She goes, boo you, because I've already hit her with a couple things, that I'm like, oh, I'll tell you later. So these are like open loops. And she came back, she's always like, why do you have to tell me later? And so I'm keeping the intrigue going, but she said, "Boo you! I have I have a session and a friend's performance on Wednesday." Now, here's the most important text of the entire thing. I want to point this out to you guys. I want you to reread it and reread it again. This is the call out text. This is the text that basically breaks the pattern. So I hit, "Yo, are your texts on like a 56K connection?" For those of you that don't remember, there used to be AOL. She's around my age, so you remember, like, you know, to get on the internet, you have to like wait for AOL guy to run across the screen, and it would make all these noises. And it's sort of archaic now, but you know, when I was growing up, in order to get on the internet, that's what you had to do. So it says like your response. I said your responses are really slow, and I can literally see the AOL guy running across the screen. A girl that's 20 is not going to get this. But a girl that's in like her upper 20s or early 30s, like, she's going to understand this, you know. And so, you know, I can literally see the AOL guy running across the screen. The AOL guy is like a funny joke from when we were growing up. Like, your texts are like the old AOL, and everybody else nowadays, they respond right away. And so she goes, she responded back. I remember she responded back like right away to this. It was like under a minute. And so all of a sudden she's available, right? She said, sorry, I was with a friend earlier today, then was running errands, then came home and did laundry, tried to make videos, but decided I wasn't feeling it. Now I'm finally relaxing. Just ordered din the AOL guy. I said, I remember the days waiting for the AOL guy to cross that screen with that nasty dial tone. And then your mom would like pick up the phone and you'd have to start all over. This is a funny all over again. She goes, those were the days. Now I build a rapport again. By the way, this is a funny visual in her mind. This is exactly what happened when we were growing up. Like, I wanted to get on AOL, and then like, but it connected through your phone, and then your mom would or your dad would pick up the phone, and they would try to call, and it would screw everything up, and you had to start all over again. And so you couldn't be on the phone and on the internet at the same time. And this is a funny joke from childhood, right? She goes, those are the days. I go, remember Napster? That was my jam for a hot minute. You know, she responds back, yes. Oh, yeah. Then I went to LimeWire. That was goody, too. Nothing like being a part of what went on to kill the business I'm now trying to be a part of. Successful in. Yay, haha. So she's basically saying, I'm a musician, and now I supported something that was killing the entire industry. I said, yeah, it's funny how easily we used to download anything without even thinking about the artist who made it all happen. What's for din din? Right? So throwing her words back at her. Well, I'm not vegan, but I ordered veggie grill, so fake chicken fingers, LOL, and fake chili fries. I get veg grill is amazing. I'm also a fan of Cafe Gratitude. She goes, oh, yes, me too. I've only been there once, but I liked it a lot. See, she's responding right away. This is how I broke the pattern, because I called her out on it, but I didn't call her out of like, why are you responding? That sounds needy. It sounds like I'm waiting for a text. I basically just called her out in a funny way. I created a funny visual for her, and now all of a sudden she's doing what I want, basically, which is responding right away. So she goes, oh, yes, me too. Only been there once, but I liked it a lot. Yeah, the ambiance is super Venice, and their tacos can easily hold a candle to a tacos in LA. These are funny. These are famous restaurants here in Los Angeles. She said, I'm still confident you would fall in love with my breakfast burrito. This is something that I mentioned on the date. I don't know how to cook anything except for this breakfast burrito, and I described it to her, and I was like, now I'm bringing this back into like the food thing. She goes, you did give that a rave review. That should have been on your list though. Oh wait, it was. No cooking for each other, right? And I sent her a picture of the breakfast burrito. I said, yep, we were really bad at following rules. And now I'm implementing the we factor. It's like, I'm not the one that's bad at following the rules. I said that before because then I used it to like pass the test. And if you pass the test, it's like you pass like the test of, you know, saying like, oh, you're totally right. Oh my God, I'm terrible at that. You're at, you know, like that's like a funny way to pass a test. And so, but now I implement it. I say, we are really bad. You and I are really bad. I said, here's a snapshot from this morning. And I said, so I'm curious, what would you cook for us if we broke the cooking rule altogether? Haha. She goes, wow, perfect girl marks. Oh, good Lord, I'd be cooking up the box of takeout menus I have in the kitchen. Haha, chicken skewers with a honey lime soy sauce situation used to be my claim to fame, but on the grill is better than on a stovetop. I said, those grill marks are my claim. Damn, those chicken skewers sound on point. You'd whip those out from the old Jersey days just for us. If that's not romance, I don't know what is. Really funny, right? She goes, Just got back home, was going to warn you that the same thing was going to happen. Basically, she meant warn. That basically she, took a long time to respond, but she wasn't available. She was at work. Forgot to. Although I had a session, then dinner with the co-writer friend. Yeah, the chicken skewers are quite tasty, and yes, nothing says romance like chicken, lol. Sounds like we both had busy days and our text punctuality was off. Texting you right now about the chicken is making me really happy I never became a vegan. So I'm basically complimenting it. If this doesn't work, and like maybe you keep talking to her, and you might want to consider just, letting it go for a week or two, like vanishing really, and just be like, oh, I'm not responding to anything. And then come back to her and invite her out to something. And then, because basically you're the one that's controlling the frame. You're the one that's breaking rapport. She's going to look at her phone and say, oh, wait, it's been the normal 5 or 6 hours or 7 hours. He's not responding. You kind of come back and say, hey, how's it going? There's this event going on, or, this is cool bar. I just saw it. Like, what are you up to this week? Like, let's grab a drink there. And so that's like when you kind of turn the tables. You kind of gain the power back in the text conversation. These have been my tips, and the biggest thing to remember is that if she's responding to you, and especially like this, like we saw here, very favorably, she does want to see you. She's interested in hanging out with you again. She wants to get to know you more. She just has other thoughts and other things that are going on. Maybe there's another guy or whatever it is. But the fact that she's responding, the fact that she's giving it back shows that she wants to see me again. It shows that she's interested. So don't freak out.